the conversation going, though. Up next, she is known as the Good Mom Coach, and she has some strategies for all of you worn out moms out there. We are listening and cannot wait to hear from her. Welcome back. We have been talking to worn out mothers, Lisa and Tara. They are part of that Superwoman Syndrome generation, the club of Superwomen. They admit sometimes they feel just a bit overwhelmed by their day-to-day activities and responsibilities. Now I want you to meet Anita Prendergast. She's known as the Good Mom Coach, and her specialty is helping moms make motherhood easy. Well, at least a little easier, right?
A little easier.
Welcome
Absolutely.
to the show. Thank you so much. I know you've had a chance to hear their stories. It's the story you've heard a million times, I have to imagine, as a Good Mom Coach, right?
Yes, absolutely. And thanks for being here. And thanks for these ladies being so brave to tell their stories, right?
Right.
So I have a similar story. I started my Good Mom coaching program after I experienced my own parental burnout, right? Like Lisa said, for me, motherhood was easy when my kids were young, but it wasn't until I started my own business. So sometimes I say my baby was my business, because that's when I started to have the parental overwhelm and burnout.
Right.
And because of my 30 years background as an educator, an early childhood educator, and because of my experience as a massage therapist, helping women navigate their stress levels and the mental health strategies, and also as a mom coach, I was able to pull myself through that so that I could be a better mom, because we're only as good as what we know. Right.
So let's talk about that, going from essentially therapist to specialist in Good Mom Coaching. What does that mean? What does that look like? Because every mom there's some common denominators, but we all have some different struggles as well.
Absolutely. So I love what I do, okay? Because what I do is I help moms discover how they can be better at what they do without the guilt, how they can put themselves first.
You said guilt. How do you do it without the guilt? Tell us the strategies that you give the moms that you work with, like these two beautiful ladies.
Right. So the main thing that we need to know is that self-care is the #1 priority. Our kids need for us to be the best possible versions of ourselves so that they can be the best possible versions of themselves.
But when a mom says to you, but I've got this, and this, what does even penciling self-care look like? What do you tell them to do? What do you say? No, this is what you're going to have to do differently for you.
Right, and that's a great question. So when I hear that moms don't have enough time, what I hear is that they don't have a plan. So what I do is I take them through the My Family, My Life, My Way game plan. And so they'll have a plan that they can just basically live their life that they want to live, and it's my easy parenting coaching program.
Let's talk about that. Right? And you're literally spelling it out, right?
You're literally
E-A-S-Y. What's the E stand for?
The E is for examining your expectations.
Okay.
Right?
What does that
because
mean?
we all have expectations of what it's like to be a mom. We think when we have a baby, we're expected to put our lives on hold. We're expected to put all of our desires on a shelf or to save for another day. But in reality, we need to take that off the shelf and really embrace it and just live in that moment.
You ladies feel like that's something that you are working on, but still room for improvement?
Yes.
All right. I need accountability. A for
yes. As for
accountability.
accountability, we really have to ask ourselves, what is it that we want for our kids, for ourselves, and then hold ourselves accountable to that. So do we want to be overwhelmed and burned out, and do we want to run here and there? No, so we have to really make that plan. I hear the ladies talk a lot about schedule blocking, and that's one great strategy for that.
S is for support, and something you have to be willing to say, I need some help, right?
Exactly, yes. When I moved down here from New York to Atlanta, I didn't know anyone. So I had to surround myself with this support system. And actually, this support system is what I used to help bring myself out of the parental burnout when it happened to me, and I don't want that to happen to any other moms. So we joined. So I actually met these ladies through the Mom Biz Boss network, and so it's just a network of women that we really support each other spiritually, friendship, business-wise, and everything like that.
Which gets us to why, which is you making sure, going back to the top again, that managing and doing the self-care and the soul care for you. Because what happens when you don't?
When you don't put yourself first, that's when you get the worn out. That's when you get the burnout. That's when you're expecting more of yourself.
And that's when the stress and the depression and things really start to spiral, right? Is that something you do?
Yes, that's what I'm feeling now, the robot syndrome. Just doing too much, going.
Yeah. So when you hear a mother say, I feel like a robot, you say, first step today is?
The first step today, what I love about my program and what women and moms find most surprising is that I teach touch. So I teach moms how to have massage every day in their everyday lifestyles to help with stress management at home, in the family, and so that builds confidence in themselves, and so that they can carry that out into the world with them.
And that doesn't mean trying to go get a massage every day, right? Because that's not necessarily something we can all pull off, but just that human contact,
that human
right?
contact, you'd be surprised. I actually teach a 15 to 30-second technique, and you would be surprised. I've taught it to one of my networking groups and to a bunch of older men, and they were looking at me like, what?
I'm not touching that joker. Yeah, right?
But
when you say, wait, no,
and
it's this touch.
Afterwards, it was like, oh my goodness, that was the best presentation I've ever had.
Yeah, it's just that lean in, you're doing a good job, right?
Yes, and it's specific techniques that I teach the moms that they can, because when you're connecting with your kids, they're connecting with you, and it forms a deeper bond with them and opens the line of communication.
Great advice, ladies. I'm wondering, one takeaway quickly that you both have learned that you did not have before this.
Well, expectation. I need to quit just making so many big expectations of whatever my situation is, and just do the best I can.
Lisa, I have to assume you agree.
I do. Yeah, and take accountability.
Great conversation, ladies. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.